Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. Club, and more importantly to this specific episode entitled My Greek Orthodox Odyssey. It's the Saturday of Lazarus today, where Greek Orthodox commence Holy Week, and this morning we had a church service. And following that church service, a number of us got together to help prepare the church for tomorrow's Palm Sunday service, which meant basically setting up palm branches within the church, and then meeting in the church hall with a number of other adults and children. And we made little crosses made out of palm fronds, so 800 were put together, and they were packaged together in a little bouquet of bay leaves. So there was bay leaves, a palm frond cross, and which I've got one here actually. I've got one in my pocket. Let me just show you. That was one of the spare ones which was a little bit too small for the production line, so I took that and I've got it in my pocket. And what's the other? There was one more herb anyway. It'll come to me and I'll tell you about it shortly. So we put together 800 batches of that. Tomorrow we have a big church service, the Palm Sunday service. Tomorrow is a feast day in the Greek Orthodox Church, which means that for those who have been following the fast, we can break the fast by eating fish. So fish on Sunday, and then we go back into a very, very strict fast for the rest of Holy Week, and which comes to a conclusion, or comes to a climax, should I say, on Easter Sunday. So we have a midnight service on Saturday night. So in the early hours of Sunday morning, we'll celebrate Easter, where we'll break our eggs, we'll sing Christos Anesti, and we'll go home to have Magiritsa and some beautiful meat soup and break our fast. So just in hindsight, in reflection, there's been a period of preparation for Holy Week. That's called Lent. For the Greek Orthodox, Lent is a period which leads to Holy Week. And then we have Holy Week, which is a preparation period for Pascha or Easter. And the highlight, of course, as I mentioned before, is Easter Sunday, but we also have Good Friday, and each day of the week for Holy Week there will be a church service. So for a number of years now, I enjoy going to church for the services during the whole of Holy Week. I've made it a priority in my life, knowing very well that I don't know how many more Easters that I've got to celebrate in my life. So I'm trying to make every one count and to enjoy the full spectrum of the Greek Orthodox faith by going to each of these services. And one of the great things about Greek Orthodox Easter is that for people who are godparents, it's an opportunity in the year to buy a special candle, a beeswax. Smells beautiful. A beeswax candle which says Christos Anesti, or Christ is risen, on it. And what we do is we give these candles to our godchildren. So godfathers, godmothers, godparents, whoever you are, buy these candles, or a candle, any candle, and give it to their godchildren, because it is very, very important. So this guy just jumped out of his car and he's running up the road, which is interesting. Okay, he's a real estate agent. So it's all good. So what we do is we give these candles to our godchildren, and it's usually younger godchildren, of course. You don't give it to 25-year-olds or older people, but there's nothing stopping you giving them. I always love to give my godson, and who is now, I think he's 25 now. I love giving my godson a candle. I don't think Arky's 25. Anyway, the years are flying, so it wouldn't surprise me. So the purpose. So let's cut to the chase. So the purpose of the candle, just so you're aware, in the ancient church, when you became a godfather or when you became a godparent, you would buy your godchild, or you'd gift your godchild a candle at their christening. And that candle at that christening would be lit, and it would symbolize the child's taking on of the Holy Spirit, the gift of the Holy Spirit, and receiving enlightenment, or receiving the light of the Holy Spirit. And then what would happen in the ancient church is that every year, whenever that child went to a Easter service or Pascha service on Easter Sunday, it would take its candle, its baptismal candle that it got on the day it was baptized and christened. It would take that candle, that christening candle, to church to receive the holy light on Easter Sunday. Receive the holy light and take it home. So the one candle was used virtually throughout the child's life. What I've got here is I've got Annabelle's Easter candle, which we've had for a couple of years now, and I've got one for Elizabeth as well. And what we do is we use this just to receive the light on Easter. And as I said, in the ancient church, every year, every Pascha, they would go receive the light with this candle and bring it home. And what the Greek Orthodox do, in case you're not aware, is we bring the holy light home on Sunday. And what we do then is, I don't know if you can see, but up on top of the door there, up there, we take the candle and we make the sign of a cross. And that is to, I guess, to protect the household, to bless the household with the holy light. And it goes back to the ancient times, the ancient biblical times, the Old Testament times, where the Jews, during Exodus, would take the blood of a lamb and place it on the doorsill, and that would symbolize or save them or protect them from the Black Death that killed many back in those days. So it is a tradition and a custom of the Orthodox Church, and it's the highlight of the year, where you go to church, you sing Christos Anesti at the midnight service, you get your candle, you bring the holy light home, you do a little cross on the top of the door there. And then what a lot of us do, and I've been trying for years to do, is I try and maintain that holy light for as long as possible. I think the longest that I've kept it is about 10 months. But what it teaches me is that throughout the year we do get lazy. Even though I have two separate, fitilia going at the same time to create a redundancy system to try and keep it alight, there just comes a time where you just drop your guard, even for a moment, and that light just disappears. And it's a great metaphor for life, because we're always dropping our guard. We're dropping our guard with our families. We're dropping our guards with our relationships. We're dropping our guard all the time. And there will come a time that you drop your guard and the light, that gift that you're given, will disappear from your life. So it's important to understand and to remember that we need to keep our wits about us. We need to keep on pushing forward and being very, very diligent with the gifts that were given to us, the gifts of health, the gifts of love, the gifts of family, the gifts of time. All of those things we need to try and make the most of. But the other thing about the holy light as well is that so we go, the Godchild, we're every year and receive the holy light with the candle, the baptismal candle that the nunna or the nunna had gifted the child at their christening. And then, interestingly enough, when you get married in the Orthodox Church, there are two candles which are lit at the front of the church and are linked together. And that's the baptismal candle of the man and the baptismal candle of the female. In the old days, in the ancient times, that baptismal candle would be used and lit at their wedding and linked together. But these days we don't have the baptismal candles because we just leave them at church and they get burnt away. But in the ancient church, it was kept and it was joined together and lit at the wedding service. And just to finish it off, when a person died in the ancient times, their baptismal candle was lit and was let to burn down, so to speak, at the funeral. So the last candle, the baptismal candle, was lit at the funeral. And also, if you sit back and think about it and try to rationalize it, when we go to a memorial service, what do? We light a candle. So the candle that we actually light in memory of that person who has passed away is in fact a symbol of their baptismal candle. The time that they entered the church, they became a full member of the Greek Orthodox Church, and a time where they received the gift of the Holy Spirit and the gift of eternity, so to speak. So I thought I'd share that with you because it's a beautiful custom and tradition that Christians have, and it's something that I always look forward to doing with my godchildren whenever I get an opportunity. And I just hope that we can all just remember the symbolism and the power of the Christian message. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5 a.m. Club. And let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable. And most importantly, let's make the most of this gift that we have. We have Holy Week for those Greek Orthodox Christians who are celebrating, and to remember, wherever possible, buy yourself or buy your children, buy your godchildren, I'll get it right, buy your godchildren a candle for Easter, regardless of how old they are, because it's important for them to remember that they're loved, that they're a member of the Greek Orthodox Church, and that this candle symbolizes the day that they came into the faith, the day that they received the Holy Spirit, the day that they became one with God. Anyway, Yassas, I look forward to chatting to you again and to take you through this journey, this Odyssey, my Greek Orthodox Odyssey, where I'll try and document as best I can the things that I know about my religion, about my journey, so that you too can share and to experience the many beautiful customs and traditions that you have had handed down to you. Because we need to remember one thing, that whilst we don't know who the first Christian convert was in our families. We need to be diligent, and we need to make sure that we don't witness the last ones in our families. We need to be on guard and to make sure that the linkage that we pass on, the linkages that we are the strong linkages which are able to link the long chain that comes before us to hopefully a long chain that goes ahead of us. Because as my spiritual father always says, the most important thing, the most important mission we have in life is to get to heaven, to be one with God. It's not to have the best house, it's not to have the best car, it's not to go on the best holidays, but we need to lead each other and to provide a platform for those that we love, those that we have in our lives, to make it to heaven so that we are one with God. So I think I'll leave it there. It's a deep one today. It's a really, really deep one. So something to contemplate. We all have an opportunity to make the most of the gifts that we have, but let's not lose those gifts. Let's not waste those gifts, I guess, is the important message that I'm trying to portray today. So thank you. Και τα λέμε. Φιλάκια και καλή μεγάλη εβδομάδα. Happy Holy Week to all those who are celebrating, and enjoy Palm Sunday tomorrow. Γεια σας.